Hi, I'm Alana from Mama Alana's Pantry, and I was going to show you how we make our gluten-free pie crust, and so you can make it at home. This is what will be in your packet when you purchase it from us. So you can start by just putting that right in your bowl. And then I sliced up some vegetable shortening, and it has to be cold, so make sure you use cold shortening. You can also use butter, but I try to make it so you can make this vegan if you would like. So that goes in there. And then I'm gonna take it to my mixer. I use it with the paddle attachment. You can do this by hand with a pastry cutter. It turns out great, but this way's easier and make things as simple as possible. So I'm going to take this over here. Put it in my mixer, and I'm just gonna put it on low and get it kind of incorporated where it's a little chunky, like you can see little pieces of it. And here I have ice cold water, so then you're gonna put that in there. I usually add a little more water than I need in case I need to add a little more. That way I'm prepared. Sometimes you have to kind of guess when it comes to pie crust and go off the texture. But I will have the measurement in there, and it's 1/4 cup per one pie crust, but I went just a little over, just in case. And so I'm just gonna pour it in it slowly. And I did need a little bit more. Sometimes it just depends on the weather and that kind of thing. So now it's all incorporated, so I'm gonna bring it back over there. I like to scrape off everything I can so I get as much of the pie crust I can use that I made. So you can kind of see it's a little crumbly, and you can grab it and it sticks together nicely. So now I'm going to grab some parchment paper and I'm going to dump it out on it. So here's your pie crust, and if it's too dry, it's not good, and if it's really wet, it's not good either. So you want it to be kind of this consistency where it sticks to itself, and you can make it into a nice little ball. If it's not perfect, you can always add a little more water. So I'd rather be a little cautious than have too much water. And I just go around and kind of grab all the little pieces up and make my ball really nice. I just like to make sure it's perfect. All right, so now that I got it in a nice little ball, as you can see, I like to wrap it in parchment paper. I mean, not parchment paper, plastic wrap, and make it nice and tight in here. And then I am going to put it in a glass container with a lid, and I'm going to leave it in the refrigerator. You can do it for a couple hours, or you can make this ahead of time and then pull it out a day or two later and make your pie crust or your pie. You want it nice and chilled because it just works better and cooks better. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and we will make the pie in just a little bit. So now I'm going to assemble a pie. I'm going to do an apple pie with like a crisp on top with oatmeal and butter and cinnamon and brown sugar. So you can make pumpkin pie or whatever your favorite pie is. And my pie crust was chilled just a little over 2 hours in the fridge. This was my Nona's, which is pretty special. I just like to take my time when I roll out the crust so I don't break it or do anything to ruin it. Now, if you do something to ruin it, you can always just roll it back up and do it again, which I'm sure most of us have had to do before. Now you can flour your roller, but I don't like to do it too much just because working with gluten-free products, it gets like dried out sometimes. So if I start adding a bunch of extra ingredients on the top to roll it out, I might end up messing up the recipe. So I try my best not to. But if you need to like just dust it very, very lightly, just remember you're not using regular flour on this. So you gotta treat it like it's different because it is. Sometimes I actually just press it right out in the pie pan too. Just depends on what mood I'm in, I guess. And now I'll fix it up a little bit. So once I get it up to the top, I just move it around however I need to make it look good, and then I will go around and pinch it, which you don't have to do, but it does make it a little prettier. I'm almost done. You can also make, I don't eat meat, but I've made like a vegetarian chicken pot pie in this crust, which is really great. So you can also do it for savory. So I'm gonna dump the apple mixture I made in here. I like to add sometimes some dried cranberries inside of my apple pie mix, which I think is really good. Some of my kids like it and some of them don't. So I'm just gonna do a regular one this time. And you can fill the pie a little higher, or obviously a little less. I would have liked to put it a little higher, but some of my apples had some bad spots on it, so. And then I just take the topping that I made, and then I sprinkle it on top. And it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. And I'll place it in the oven and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Now the pie is just about done, so I'm gonna get it out of the oven and you will be able to see it. Here's the pie all done. I'll let it cool so we can eat it later.